New Year's resolutions. We make them every year, don't we? But they can be quite good for you if you manage to stick to them, and they can change your life for the better. Normally they revolve mainly around losing weight, but this year we thought we'd give you some different options.
So coming up are 7 potential New Year's resolutions for cyclists. Now, if you've never been to see a pro bike race before, you are missing out. Okay, you might not see quite as much as you do when watching the television, but the atmosphere is absolutely electric. You won't regret it.
No, you won't. And if you want us to make a specific suggestion, it doesn't get much better than the Tour of Flanders. Firstly, you can ride all those famous climbs in the days leading up to the race. Then on the day itself, you can go to the start. You're going to see both the men and the women, so you can get right up close to the riders. Then you can see them multiple times along the route, and you can do the whole lot while sipping on some of the best beer in the world.
Absolutely right. Now, I know that it's going to be a little bit difficult for many of you to get to Belgium than some of us here in Europe, but at some point you have to try it. Just do it.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
You won't.
Committing yourself to doing a charity ride is a bit of a double whammy winner, because firstly you're going to give yourself some focus in training because you've got an event to target, but secondly you're going to be raising some money for a very good cause. Now, a lot of you know that one of our favourite charities is World Bicycle Relief. They do some great work in Africa, providing bicycles as a means of transport so that people over there can access things like work or their school or even medical care.
So enter an event now and start fundraising. And you can even shave your hair off.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Here at GCN, all of us have a background in pro racing and we enjoyed every single minute, but we certainly didn't get there on our own. Oh no, we had volunteers that organised races that we did when we were a lot younger. We had marshals that kept all of the race routes safe. We had coaches who helped us with our training for no cost at all. And we even had kind souls who sponsored us and asked for nothing in return.
Yeah, we did, and we could definitely not have done it on ourselves, and pretty much no pro cyclist can. So our suggestion to you is that you help out a young budding cyclist in some way, shape or form in 2017, because the satisfaction that you will get from seeing them make their way in the sport will be second to none. And who knows, you might actually be helping out a future champion of cycling.
You never know.
Simply having the aim of increasing your fitness is quite a broad aim. But the great thing about owning a power meter is that you can quantify exactly the changes in fitness, which are hopefully increasing. So why not set yourself the aim of increasing your FTP by a specific amount?
Yeah, so for example, if your FTP currently is 200, why don't you set yourself the target of increasing your FTP by 10%, say by June, but have a structured plan of how to get there.
220.
We often talk about how great a group ride is to stay motivated, get fit and stay social. So if you haven't got a group ride near you, start one off yourself. So in January, set a place at a certain time, tell your mates and basically spread the word.
Yeah, and before you know it, you might have got so big that you have to split your group ride into a fast and a slow group. You want to give it a name as well. We think the wackier the better, because people are then going to be intrigued as to what it is all about and why it's got such a weird name. I'm thinking like Matt's Marathon or something.
Maybe Dan's Dash.
Dan's Dawdle these days.
For a steadier ride.
Setting yourself some kind of distance challenge is always a great way to keep your mind focused. A common one is the good old century, so 100 miles, but it certainly doesn't have to be that nice round number. No, if you're new to the sport, it could be something far shorter, maybe 50 or 60 miles that you want to achieve. Or on the other hand, if you've been into the sport a long time and you've already completed a lot of centuries, you could set yourself a much bigger target, maybe even the double century.
Now that isn't something that I understand that any of us at GCN have ever achieved, but it's a lofty target and will take some work to achieve. But one thing is definitely for sure, that ride, if successful, will be epic.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
It's always tempting to head out on the bike and do what you're already good at, but you're probably going to make more overall gains if you work on your weaknesses.
Yeah, I agree. So what you want to do is sit down, grab a pen and paper and write down what you are not good at in cycling. Feel free to write on both sides
Carry
of
on,
the
mate.
paper if you need to, Matt. and then work out how much time you are going to allocate to address that weakness or those weaknesses. Now, it might be that you've got a great sprint, but you're lacking endurance, or vice versa, or it could just be that you really need to work on your core strength and general posture, a weakness for a lot of cyclists. Whatever it is, working on it is almost a surefire way to turn yourself into a better cyclist. Maybe finish that a little bit later.
I think I'll have to. I don't think we've got enough time in this video. Anyway, if you haven't already subscribed to the Global Cycling Network, it is the go-to place for all things road cycling. You can do that by clicking on the globe. Don't forget to like this video as well, and also tell your friends about GCN.
Yeah, and once you've done all of that, you can go on to one of the next 2 videos. The first of which is Matt Sy and Lasty enjoying the Koppenberg climb, one of the most iconic climbs in the world of Flanders. Or on the other hand, if sprinting is one of your weaknesses, you can click on the other box, which is how to sprint like a pro.
You can go now, Dan. I'll probably be here for a while, mate.
Turn over now.